All right, good evening. So, in the electric industry, we like to talk about the carbon transition, the energy transition to zero carbon in terms of where we're going to be in 2030 and 2050. I thought it'd be fitting tonight to talk about how we've done so far. So, report card time. First subject, carbon intensity. In the last 5 years, we've reduced the average amount of carbon on the grid by 18% since in the last 5 years. But you can see by the map, the results vary wildly by state. How are we doing it? By reducing coal and fossil fuel. In the last decade, we've cut the coal contribution to the US energy mix in half. And as some ancient Greek poet used to say, the half is greater than the whole. So clearly he was talking about coal. The rebellion continues in 2022. We have 15,000 megawatts of generation retiring. 85% of that is coal. Yeah. And coming in second place at 8% or 1.21 gigawatts, natural gas. And apparently you can say gigawatts or gigawatts. Doc Brown was right. I always thought he was saying it wrong. So who knew? You know, we can't talk about decarbonizing without mentioning renewables. They go together like cookies and milk, right? They're delicious together. And in 2020, renewable energy became the second most prevalent source of electricity in the US. Huge accomplishment. However, this guy, natural gas, has been leading the pack since 2016. So until we can figure out how to beat this guy in the race, we're gonna have a difficult time getting to zero carbon. So I'm gonna give us a B- on carbon intensity. I think a lot of solid accomplishments, but we can do better, and we have to do better. Next subject of the evening, we're gonna go to, drum roll. Oh, I'm a little ahead of it, wow. You know, in reliability, obviously always important and equally important. In 2020, a report came out indicating adequate reserve margins in all regions of North America. A year later, that report was painted in orange and red. What changed? Well, 3 months after that report came out, California had rolling blackouts for the first time in 20 years. 500,000 people were without power for up to 90 minutes over 2 days in a sweltering heat wave. Sadly, this event was preventable. Grid planners just weren't keeping pace with the changing supply mix on the grid, and they weren't factoring in the more extreme weather that we're now seeing. And 6 months after that, case in point, we had Winter Storm Uri. Freezing temperatures brought outages to 10 million customers over a 5-day period. 290 people died in US and Mexico. This was a tragedy that also could have been avoided. Up to 5,000 megawatts of generation tripped offline because generators simply didn't follow industry guidelines on winterization. We have to do better, absolutely. So as far as a grade goes on this category, I'm gonna give us a C- based on these two events. Reliability is not something we can take a day off from. Every hour of every day, we have to maintain reliability, absolutely. So my last subject of the evening we're gonna grade is affordability. And like Snoop Dogg, rates just keep getting higher and higher. Up 4% this year, actually up 4% last year, up 8% this year. So one of the things that's troubling about this is if you Google this, you're gonna find it's happening in every corner of the country. And it's understandable rates are gonna go up. But a troubling report came out this summer. Among low-income families, utility debt has more than doubled to $16 billion. That's a troubling number. So affordability is not happening. Why? Well, in addition to record high wholesale prices, we have to invest in new infrastructure to build wires from where the wind blows and the sun shines to where it's consumed. So we can do better. I think there's a lot of things, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute, on how we can control costs going forward. So an average C score. My last topic is actually not a grade subject. It is an extracurricular challenge for the team. In the immortal words of Yoda, you must unlearn what you have learned. And one of the things that we need to do is we need to think differently about things. Just 2 months ago, California had another heat wave. And in fact, loads and temperatures were even higher than what they saw 2 years ago. And something miraculous happened. I don't know if you guys read about this, but just as reserves dipped dangerously low, the state issued a text alert to all consumers. And within 5 minutes, 2,000 megawatts disappeared from the grid. Now, I think I get chills when I say that, because to me, that tells the important role that demand can play to help us improve reliability, reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, while controlling our cost. Thank you very much. Have a good night.